that's okay with you guys.
Okay, I'll leave that up to there. That's up to you, if you want to open it up. I guess I've never seen.
I mean,
Just wondered. Yeah.
okay, that's what I needed to know.
Sorry, I didn't know.
No, so when will happen? We'll go right in that is an element. Yeah, and then I'll come up with it. Okay, thank you. Pulling my papers, I'm just spreading my mess.
Not till tomorrow morning. Just that one.
I'll have to get them out, that's Matt.
I'll bring them over to these. Great. I know this time you think you do something.
That's Emma's birthday that night, it was her 18th birthday.
I didn't get her also. I thought she'd be a start to it.
Oh, okay. Every one of her birthdays has usually been celebrated like that. Holiday, you know, Christmas event, since she's been little.
She understood.
Hers is December 20th.
No, I figured the three of us for those things last year.
Just those two girls.
I do a good enough job with the three of us. Dang it. Good evening. If we could stand
stand up and rise for our pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If we could have a moment of silence to honor our veterans. Are there any veterans in the room this evening? If so, please remain standing for a round of applause. Any veterans? No veterans this evening. Thank you to all those that served. Kristen, has roll call been taken?
Yes.
Don, would you like to do us the honors this evening?
Don Rice, DPW Director.
Brooke Park, City Treasurer. Christy Kenya, City Clerk. Ellen Glass, City Manager.
Pam Howard, City Council.
Chris Matter, City Attorney.
Liz Armstrong, Mayor.
Brad Dick, Mayor Pro Tem.
Tom Dick, City Council.
Denise Miller, City Councilor.
Brenda Simons, City Councilor.
And I would like to excuse Jerry Link, he is absent tonight. We will move on now to the special presentations for fiscal year 2025-2026 audit.
Good evening. My pleasure to be here this evening to present to you the annual audited financial statements of the city for your fiscal year ended June 30th, 2025. Once again, the city did receive the highest level of audit opinion possible, which is an unmodified opinion. So no exceptions, disclaimers, nothing to bad to report this evening. Like to start off with a few highlights, but I'll tell you, this report, you have a lot going on in the city. So, you may, as you're flipping through it, you'll see a lot of more funds than we typically have, but that reflects the activity here, with the paving projects, the water and sewer projects, the special assessment districts, and we've had a couple years of that now. So you'll see it's just kind of grown, in financial statements, but all good. The property tax revenues, which of course are your largest source of revenues, up 5.7% this year, and that's all taxable value increase, that's not a millage increase. The year before was at 7.3% increase, and that, the year before we had that big inflation adjustment, so that's come down a bit. 5.7 is still pretty healthy, and we like to see that, but not as huge as the year before. Also, this is the third year of the public safety millage, which is in its own fund and accounted for separately now. State shared revenue, also a significant source to the general fund, pretty much flat this year, almost identical to the year before. That's the state and income tax that the state collects and distributes to the local units. Not good news for that going forward. I'm sure you've heard, with the state budget, they're basically, rerouting a lot of the state share revenue money coming to you to roads and other things. So we're not projecting any big increases or any increases for next year on that. The city did do a nice job, with the interest income. You managed to increase that once again. The year before was significant. You're taking advantage of the good rates out there, so, but you're still in safe investments as well. So we had growth once again this year, which again, we'll take that, for as long as we can get that. Overall, you'll see that the general fund revenues actually decreased if you compared it to the prior year. And that's only because the year before we had the American Rescue Plan Act grant funds. So you'll see a big drop, but it's not really a drop, it's really, we just didn't have the grant funds this year, that you had in the prior year. The, general fund expenditures, it actually stayed pretty steady from the year before. You spent a little bit more in capital outlay. Parks, you'll see a little bit of an increase. You did receive grant money on the parks, so the expenses were correspondingly up on that. The general fund added to the fund balance. And you did transfer money to the public safety fund, which was expected, but that was significant, $221,000 that you, so the public safety fund isn't standalone, it needs a little help. So the general fund is contributing to that. So even with that transfer from the general fund, the public safety fund dipped into their fund balance $128,000. The mill building restoration, the year before you received half of the $4 million grant. So that money is tucked away in its own fund, so you can see the activity in there. You spent about $300,000 last year on that, on the mill project. We added quite a bit of debt, but we also paid off some debt this year. We paid off the 2015 water bonds, the Walmart property loan, you had like a fire truck loan, street light loan, so some smaller ones are all paid off, so that, we like to see that. And then you added the West Ralston, SAD and general obligation bonds last year. Ultimately, let's see, we spent about $2 million in the water fund and on capital projects. Mostly the Lindenwood and the Southern Lakes water project. Lindenwood is, as far as the paving project goes, I think you only have about $200,000 of that bond left. So that project is almost done. It might even be done now. It's after June 30th. And West Ralston, you didn't really start to spend money on that. You sold that right before the end of the fiscal year. So in the year you're in now, I would think that you're just getting into that bond money. So with that, that's a lot of numbers being thrown at you. If I can answer any questions, I'm happy to do so. A lot going on, but all good. You know, you're financially healthy, stable, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing.
I think it's worthy to mention too, Rana, the 33% fund balance, is in correlation to our, fund balance policy that NA adopted, to have that, hit that target between 25 and 30%, I think, roughly, so.
Especially with all you have going on.
Yeah.
And also, this is the first year you'll see the LOC is added. And that's in the back where we put the DDA, financial statements, the LOC statements are back now. And this year it's only 6 months worth, and next year it'll be a full year. But that, worth noting, that also, included this year, along with all the other changes.
And the reason it was only 6 months is because we had a full audit, because they were on a calendar year, but then when we switched, them under the umbrella of the city, it was 6 months, so.
Councilwoman Simon, do you have any questions?
No, I don't. Good job. And thanks for hitting that target in the general fund. Looks really good.
Councilwoman Howard?
I don't have any questions, but thank you for the good news. It looks great, and it's good to know that we're ahead.
Councilman Dick?
No comments tonight, thank you.
Councilman Hicks?
No comments at all, looks pretty good, thank you very much.
Councilwoman Miller?
Thank you very much. You guys are doing a great job. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming, I appreciate it.
Thank you, my
Thank
pleasure.
you.
And thank you to the city staff as well. It doesn't happen without everyone's cooperation and help. Thank you.
Does the audience have, do the residents have any questions for the auditor? Does anyone in the audience have any questions for the auditor? All right. Thank you. We have no public hearings, so moving on to correspondence. Is there anybody?
We just had the invitation in here for the ribbon cutting for the LAP pathway, which is exciting. Yeah, or the groundbreaking, I should say, so November 12th at 11 a.m., so hopefully some of y'all can attend, so that information is in there for you guys.
We want to move on to public comments. I see we have a public comment for the LAP pathway.
I'm happy to give you an update on that. I'm on the LAP Pathway Board. I've been a part of that project for about 10 years. Many of you guys don't know about that. in 2018, I think there was a special election ballot that did not pass to raise taxes for the pathway. That pathway is phase 2 of a elongated pathway to go through Genesee County and Linden and connect Fenton. Phase 1 was Argentine to connect to Linden downtown for the walking pathway. This will be a 1.5-mile section from Triangle Park, which is right on Silver Lake Road, to connect to Jennings Road, to connect to Fenton, where the new Kroger will be going up. That event is scheduled for 11 o'clock on the 13th, so it'll be tomorrow. Just kind of a welcome as an update. And our engineers will be there to talk about an update of the plan scope and the project plan completion. Just to give everybody kind of an update on what that project ballooned from. Originally it was about a $1.7 million project. As we went through COVID and we went through price increase after price increase and hurdle after hurdle to raise funding, it ballooned into about a $5.6 million project. So that's what was committed through a lot of the hard work of the City of Linden, City of Fenton, and Fenton Township working together. There was some equal money that was granted. There was federal money granted from MDOT as well. And of course the Mott Foundation, I think we wouldn't be here without them kind of making the last final push and contribution. So ChoiceOne made a $500,000 commitment to the project, and we're going to put a shovel on the ground finally after about 10 years on this committee. So it's great to see it come through so my kids can ride their bikes. So I hope everyone's excited about it, because we certainly are. So hope to see you there.
Thank you. Monica Larner.
Monica Larner, 152 West Ralston Road. So first off, the American Legion Auxiliary is hosting a free 1-hour workshop for dementia-friendly services. So almost 7 million Americans are living with some form of dementia, and over 200,000 of them are right here in Michigan. Up to 70% of individuals with dementia live in their own homes and are shopping, banking, and doing business out in the community, but they often encounter special challenges. So the free workshop is covering what dementia is, how to recognize it, the difficulties that people have living with dementia encounter in our community, simple ways that you can make the lives of our friends and neighbors with dementia less difficult, and no cost and low cost dementia friendly recommendations tailored to your specific organization or business. It's going to be on November 25th, and it's going to be at the Masonic Lodge, and there's going to be 2 afternoon workshops, so that if people in the business community need to trade off, there's going to be one at 2:30 and one at 4:30. And I have flyers out in the front there. So I have spoke about this before. The corner of West Ralston and North Bridge has another eyesore trash there on the corner. It's been there all weekend, and before it was told that it would be addressed and taken care of, and it never was. Just, when the trash day came around, then it got picked up. So I don't know, what the problem is. We have it published in the newspaper that the trash is not supposed to be out there, but nothing was done before, so here we are again. Why can't this be taken care of? It's the same property. And then I do have a concern on the consent agenda about one of the low-C things, but I don't know if I have to wait on that.
Go ahead and bring it up.
Okay, so the Chase card service, $2,232.97. It just says low-C department charges. I'd like to know an itemization on that. Everything else is itemized, on our financials. Why is that just lumped together? Thank you.
Thank you. So for all the public comment,
doing some renovations or something along those lines. I'm not sure if that's the same case now. We can certainly follow up with that. And as far as the consent agenda, low C, Brooke, I don't know if you can pull up the. Okay, so Brooke can hopefully provide more detail tonight. If not, we can always follow that up, so.
Are we gonna, is she gonna pull that up now?
I think she's attempting to.
Okay, that's why I just wanted to make sure.
I mean, like, I think you're safe to move on if you'd like, and then when she is able to pull it up, we can always address it then. Yeah,
Madam Mayor, do we have a date for the, workshop? I'm not sure if, Monica had asked for that.
November 25th, it sounded like, was that the case?
Yeah, November 25th, 2:30 and 4:30.
Who'd you want to?
Well,
Sorry, I got it right now.
Oh, sorry.
It helps, you might as well just go ahead. Okay, $99.87 was for Amazon, mechanical pencils, binder clips, water. Do you want me to itemize it all? Snacks for travel. Plastic forks, mailing address labels, magnetic credit card reader, Pure Life purified water bottles, I believe that's for travel. Another Amazon for movie day, there was chips, Frito-Lays, I believe those are just snacks for movie day. That was $92, or that's included on that previous Amazon. Let's see. We did kitchen bar tool storage rack for $34, Halloween candy. We bought a new coffee maker for $4.78. And some of these, just for knowledge, we do get reimbursed from the county as well for bigger purchases. Chili cook-off, we had, large paper plates, disposable plastic portion cups. That was $35.99. Chili cook-off again, we bought plastic portion cups, no lids, mini containers for $15.99. Goodness gracious. Disposable clear plastic forks, this is all chili cook-off. Water bottles, I believe that's all for travel.
So mainly event related.
Event
That one.
related, yes. So, if you would like me to itemize it for the council, I can as well, put it into, paper form. We had a trip to Frederick Myers Sculpture Park, that was a charge of $634.50, but we, give back that money and the people that go on that travel. So, that looks like it's about it.
Thank you.
thank you.
And again, just to clarify, when we're, issuing checks, the memo line is just really hard to put all of that on a memo, so anytime you need clarification, just let me know.
Thank you. All right. Moving on to the consent agenda.
I will make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Support.
Dick,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Hicks,
Yes.
Snyder,
Yes.
Armstrong,
Yes.
Howe.
Yes.
All right, so we are moving on to new business. Ordinance number 425, an ordinance amending section 154, zoning, housing, local zoning ordinance amendments.
Madam Mayor, in your packet, you guys have a memo, from city staff as well as Adam, in addressing Adam's enclosed memo dated for October 23rd, which was also included meeting, Adam outlined the process the planning commission went through, reviewed the detailed summary of the proposed changes and addressed questions posed. To date, we've not received any additional questions or concerns or comments. The changes have been shared amongst, all the city staff. It was communicated this would be returning for November consideration. And then, there's also, suggested, motions for you all to consider. So, that's where we're at.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna start off with the audience this evening. Noah Morgan.
I'm back on the mic. I'm a property owner in the city as well. We have a property 1013 Bridge Street, it's right next to Sloan's, and that is currently in a local service district, according to the master plan. We bought the property in 2015, originally intending to clean the house up, sell the house. The day we bought it, somebody came to us and wanted to buy it, so we sold the house on a land contract. The house fell back on our hands in 2018. We leased the house out for 3 or 4 years. We had a really good tenant. He did cause a couple issues with the city that we tried to resolve, and finally we moved him out. We've had, relisted the house again for sale. The house was under contract, fell through because it's currently in a non-conforming use to a mortgage company, so that would mean it's limited to a buyer pool who can only put down 25%, and they have to have a commercial loan. It wouldn't qualify as an FHA or a Fannie Mae Freddie Mac loan. So any of the houses that are currently along this local service district that are currently in residential use, if they go for sale, someone can't get a traditional bank loan on that property. So it's really important that I think the council consider of moving forward with the motion that's presented by the zoning as is, which basically will make that property a conforming use for a mortgage company so that someone can buy that house. Because we just had a resident actually move out of the house this week, and we're hoping that we can list the property for an affordable house here, or Linden, excuse me. Thank you.
Thank you. Heidi Fletcher.
Heidi Fletcher, West Ralston Road. In reference to the ordinance 425, specifically creating an ordinance amending section 154 zoning, also known as housing-focused zoning amendments. The proposed zoning ordinance amendments to areas R3, R4, and R5 residential uses to include accessory dwelling units, 3-family dwellings, and townhouses, with the use of the Michigan Housing Readiness Grant, has the potential to create an influx of income-restricted housing as well as family housing on the only vacant land available for development in downtown Linden, as well as creating increased housing through use of accessory buildings on privately owned property with single-family homes already on the property. The utilization of the Michigan Housing Readiness Grant by the city of Linden can and likely will lead to developers applying for and utilizing grants specific to income-restricted housing in zones R3, R4, and R5 if these amendments are passed. Due to the nature of these zoning ordinance amendments, I ask the question, do any current city council members or City Linden board or commission members stand to benefit financially from these zoning ordinance amendments? As a resident of the city of Linden, I feel we are at risk of losing what is left of our small town charm. If council votes to amend current housing-focused zoning amendments, I fear that that is what will happen. Our downtown is already severely congested due to recent housing developments just outside of Linden city limits. Adding this potential for housing will not bring customers to Linden businesses. Current traffic patterns are dangerous to both drivers and pedestrians. Lack of parking is detrimental to all of our local businesses. It's time for the city of Linden to focus on grants available to enhance and grow our local businesses and entice new business development in areas slated for more housing development. Fix the parking, reduce the traffic issues, and make it desirable for new businesses to come to downtown Linden and stay in downtown Linden.
Thank you. Are there any further residents wishing to speak on this topic? Hearing and seeing none. Councilwoman Howard.
I don't have any questions. I think Adam, I don't have any questions or comments because I think Adam did a great job with this letter. It thoroughly explains all the changes, which are mainly just definitions and such.
commission had this for over a year in front of them, and the main things are changes in R1 and 2, there aren't. We took out high use adult foster homes, which we could regulate, we couldn't do anything else because of state law. And we have to remember, just because we don't have it in our zoning ordinance, doesn't mean they can't build it here. That's no problem.
Are you speaking directly to
No,
me?
I'm just,
No? Okay.
that's a general comment, just because it's not in the ordinance doesn't mean they can't do it. If it's zoned multifamily, and they bring us a multifamily thing, we can look at it. Everything that's zoned for multifamily is all planned use development. It would all have to come back through planning, it have to come back to city council, it have to come back to public hearings, all that type of thing. We have no one at our door that wants to build in Linden. As I discussed at the last meeting, any kind of multifamily residential right now would have to be subsidized, and I don't believe anyone on this board or the city is looking to subsidize any housing. Ann Arbor just spent $300 million on this with a $44 million grant that they're putting into a $300 million project, which, is crazy. But no, that's something that we have the intention of doing. And the townhomes is a definition. The ADU units, have you seen, are completely totally restricted, indeed restricted. They can only be used by said family members. You can't rent them out, you can't sell them, you can't lease them. They have to be occupied by a family member or a caregiver, and that is, you have to change your deed to your property to reflect that. And it's only applicable to very few residents when you look at the actual restrictions. It has to have its own utilities, its own sewer, and water. It's pretty tight. It's just, we've considered it for over a year, it's been talked about for over a year. Just time to take a vote.
Councilman Hicks.
I have no questions at this time, thank you.
Councilwoman Simons.
I'd like to thank, Adam, he's not here. He did a stellar job on this, I mean, it's very, very clear, and I really appreciate the time that we brought it back and discussed it, and really made it clear to everyone on council. Thank you for your comments, Brad, and I agree with Pam, there isn't anything that I see that, is an issue. We've just made some updates, and, hey, we're heading into 2026, so, good job.
Councilwoman Miller.
Listening to the residents, for over a year now, and seeing right now the traffic we have, the parking we have, the businesses that are, trying to do a business with, mill going. I just want a little bit more, information on this. If the planning commission's had it for a year, I know we've had it here a couple of times. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
The only part that I have is I went into our master plan, and some of the issues that I have been concerned about with this, passing this, are in fact the things that people were concerned about. The congestion, and there was an accident downtown today at Bridge and Broad. They are wanting, to keep our small town out. And I wonder, is that possible to do if we are doing townhomes?
to, in consideration of the planning commission's recommendation of adoption, move to adopt the housing-focused amendments to the city of Linden's zoning ordinance, chapter 154 of the Code of Ordinances, as outlined in the amendment, backdated October 23rd, 25? Oh, yes, to the original meeting.
Support.
And just to clarify, this is still under the review of attorney filter. So just put that here.
So do we need that review before we make the motion?
It's, the approval should be granted upon the review and acceptance of attorney filter.
Okay.
What we'd hope is clarifying which sections, because eventually it needs to be into the ordinance format unless this is what was presented. Did you want them each individual one, or did you want to sparse them out individually for approval?
A whole, yeah, a whole
Okay.
package.
Okay. I would just approve it, well, I understand that motion, and if there's any changes, it would just be text related, it wouldn't be substance related.
Perfect.
Should we do the motion? Usually we do the
Yes,
motion.
please.
Armstrong,
No.
Simon,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Miller,
No.
Hicks.
No.
Motion carries 3-3, so therefore motion fails.
Okay, moving on to the manager's update.
Just a couple of things to update you guys on. It's been a busy, couple of weeks, months, years. MTA, we're working with MTA to finalize, shuttle services, around the community that would service the community Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, and get them to the, trolleys, routes in Fenton. So Tessa and I are working to try to finalize that. Now I'm working on signage. We're trying to, finalize the stops, working with the business owners, in areas where we will be, there'll be 4 stops. Ribbon cutting, it's in your packet, we got the ribbon cutting coming up for Houndstooth and Harlequins, left pathway groundbreaking, we already touched on that. More recently, we've been working through the Windows 11, I think I've updated you guys on this before, but, the Windows 11 upgrade with Microsoft, so, multiple devices at City Hall were not eligible, or able to, make the upgrade, so we had to do replacements, so that was what we spent a good majority of the day, doing today. Also installed the panic button at City Hall, just in the event of, security issues, things like that. We had a successful dueling pianos night last week, appreciate all the staff and everyone that, put that on, it was a great event. I know there was a successful ladies night on Saturday, I was not able to attend, but I heard very positive feedback. So work to finalize the audit, obviously, that was presented to you guys tonight. We're working on, starting our budget processes in-house, and kicking that off in the new year. Other than that, not too much. I'll field any questions you guys might have.
Any questions? Council?
Are you gonna open it back up for public comment?
I don't usually, but I can. I don't usually.
Can we go back to that agenda, have you guys just voted down real quick? Give me saying that or?
That's fine.
I just, wanna point out to you that you have a local service district, you currently have residential houses in. And so, the current residential structures that are there, there's a line item that was struck to allow residential use for those existing properties, which would make it a conforming use. Does everybody on the board understand what that means? From a leasing and saleability and financing for a low-income buyer? Would you
Sure,
rather keep it,
I-
it's a duplex right now.
I would like to have a conversation with you after the meeting, please.
Happy to do that.
Thank you.
I'd like to address this issue. This is crap. You guys are bringing up issues that you know are hot issues without a full board. That's not fair. This is the second issue where you've not had a full board. If you're gonna have something like this, I think you need to wait till you have a full board. That's just my opinion, but it's not right.
Okay, so what I can say, Mrs. Wright, is that, we did have, Councilman Lake did send an email at the beginning of this week and ask that this was not on the agenda prior to the agenda being made. And Councilwoman Miller was not supposed to be here, and she was able to be here, okay, and she, she asked as well for this not to be on the agenda. So that is, just a quick response, okay? Because they were trying to be able to be here, but they had previously, she thought she had previously, but she's good now. But Link is not, because he had something previously scheduled. And, I mean, there was an email sent.
I get it, but it's just.
Really quick, Madam Mayor, I'd like to address that too as well. At the last council meeting, it was brought up that this was gonna be on the November meeting. At that time, the full board did not decide, that wasn't an option to put on the November meeting. It's really challenging for us as staff to, react to each individual request. And so for, the purpose of the meeting tonight, we did put it on the agenda for you all to decide what you wanted to do with it. At any point, I think Adam put in his memo, that you guys could have postponed it. So you guys all have the option to do that, and that's why it was in front of you. And I think Kristen explained pretty well the, obligations and the issues that we have with the grant deadline for this project as well. And it's really challenging if we're trying to wait for a full board to do any action. Everyone's schedules are challenging, you guys, so you know how it goes.
But you just voted to have more rental units in your community than you did have homeowners. That's very important.
Okay.
So more renters in Linden.
Again, after, please,
I just
thank
want
you.
people to realize what happened there.
Okay, thank you.
I don't think we do.
So what are our choices?
As far as, I'll just ask you guys to get us,
Because we have a quorum, but.
Yep.
If we can make a decision to, let people get more information, I'm not opposed to that.
sure. Like I said, please provide specific feedback to staff and to Adam and I, so we can address it and take care of the issues that you guys, or concerns that you might have, so.
Thank you.
And I'm available to discuss this, I know Brad makes himself available to discuss it as well, and Ellen's well versed, Pam as well, if you'd like to talk about it.
Do you have a signature update?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I thank, all the departments for their reports. We'll move on to council comments. Councilwoman Simons.
I'm excited about the pathway ribbon cutting. Really looking forward to that. I'm a commissioner on Southern West Parks and Rec. We've really been intensely working on it with Ed Toledo, and he's retiring. We have a new executive director coming on board, the 17th. So we're really excited about that and can't wait to see you guys. Thank you.
Councilwoman Howard.
Looking forward for the last pathway, not ribbon cutting, but the events on Wednesday to open the work. The ladies' night out was a great success. I only did part of it, Brad, but I was able to do a little before, and I didn't register anything, but I did do some later, and so it was great. And thank you, Monica, for the dementia information. That's a workshop I know I'll sign up for. I wanted to bring up on the Metro Alliance, that there was a proposal at one time to fund 2 lanes both ways in and out of Linden, on Linden Road, but that is no longer didn't get approved, so just wanna let you know that we're okay. Let's see here. And we have a we might have a Parks and Rec meeting on November 18th. I just wanted to let you know it'll be it's a good informational meeting. If you care to join us, it's right here.
What time is that, Pam?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Yeah, 6 o'clock, so,
And
what?
I know it was tentatively November 20th.
November 20th, I'm sorry, I said the 18th.
Oh, you're good. We're also waiting on Adam's schedule.
Yeah,
I know he's
right,
gonna have to come back and go through
right,
that.
so it may not happen, but just in case, be aware, it'll happen sometime this month. And that's it.
Councilman Dick.
I think anybody that came out for ladies' night on Saturday was quite interesting to see all the Helen Ropers running around town. A lot of red hair. And
it was fun.
you said they took off a 2-lane into Linden. Actually, Genesee County's master plan calls for 3 lanes in and out of Linden in 2048 or so.
It's a
That's right.
tip-funded project that proposed and it just didn't get it.
It's on, they got it on the books, Recreation has it on the books, their wish list for 2048. But, there's absolutely nothing we can do from an ordinance standpoint to restrict congestion in Linden. Benton Township is building around us in leaps and bounds, and we have no say in what they do. They don't listen to anything we send over when we recommend things to them.
Excuse me.
Benton Township's, there's about 1,000 housing starts on Linden's borders. If we put this ordinance into play and every last inch of Linden was built out, it might be 400 units at best. And we can never build out every last inch of Linden because there are legacy property owners that are never gonna sell. And a lot of wetlands. So we've never actually put it to a study to see how much could be done, but that was the target number if every inch, and that including wetlands, was considered.
Councilman Hicks.
Just a couple of quick things. We do have a HDC meeting November 19th, Wednesday, next Wednesday, so if you get a chance, stop by there. 2, the new stop sign there for the walkway by City Hall, spot on. It stands right out there and really brings your attention to the corner. Because before you go by through there, you wouldn't see little kids and stuff standing there. So, like it, very much so like it. That's all, thank you.
Councilwoman Miller.
The trolley, thank you. I don't know when you're gonna get the 4 stops. I'm excited about that, and I know you'll be telling us.
I'm hesitant to give you a date.
No, it's okay,
So-
it's okay, it's okay, it's just so exciting to hear about. Thank you again for the audit, you did a great job you guys are doing. Doing pianos, I cannot tell you, I wish I would've been here to go to it. I know I've already heard about another dozen people that said they're ready. So we gotta bust out some walls or something because it sounds great. Real quick on the vote tonight. I know because I got an email that Jerry did ask for this to be put up. And I was supposed to be going to Cancun, and I am. As soon as here, I'm going down to Detroit. But I think it's very important to listen to the city councilors too. We wanted this a full vote. It's very important for all of us to have a say. So that's the reason why I'm here. And I think that I can understand what this is all about. And I listened to MML today, which was a good one. So when it comes back up, or however it comes back to us, I'll be fully informed. Thank you.
All right, so I would like to start off as a daughter and wife of a veteran. I appreciate so much the service that our men and women in uniform have done. I know the sacrifices firsthand, after watching my father and my husband miss multiple birthdays, multiple holidays. And, so I really just wanted to take the time and thank our veterans, going into Veterans Day. And everything I had to say about the vote at this time, I said according to the master plan. That does not mean that it cannot be rediscussed, but there are certain areas of it that I'm not even open to negotiate. That's just where I'm at. So, and I've been there. I haven't moved since this started being talked about in February of 2024. Just certain parts. So, with that being said, if anybody wants to know what those reasons are, I am more than happy to tell anybody. They can email me, they can call me, they can come after the meeting and talk to me. Thank you. There is no closed session. So do we have a motion?
I make a motion to close.
Meeting is adjourned at 7:18.